Hello and welcome to Sizzling Sales Meetings. You may already know me. My name's Bob McComb and I'm the co-creator of the Top Dogs commercial real estate training programs. And it's my pleasure to spend some time with you today to give you some ideas on how you can improve your company's bottom line. And that's really what this program is all about, increasing your agent's production. One of the most important ways to do that is to conduct great sales meetings that really work. Unfortunately, for many busy sales managers, sales meetings are a drudgery that they don't look forward to conducting, that the agents are not excited about attending, and that are often poorly prepared and poorly run. So let's spend a couple of minutes and let's focus on what the opportunities are in conducting a great sales meeting. Well, the first opportunity should be to increase business. And what that really means is that the focus is on improving the agent's production and revenue. There's also an opportunity to strengthen your brand internally. Developing a strong brand identity internally helps you to retain your agents. It also helps the agents in the field because they believe in the identity that the company fosters, and now it becomes an external identity. So, if your mission is to field the most highly trained and the most highly skilled commercial real estate experts in the marketplace, then this is the identity that your agents are going to be bringing to the clients. So you also have an opportunity then to create a winning team. You know, it's time to bring people together and to hold them to higher standards. And one of the standards must be that everyone improves together. All of this generates an enthusiasm for the business and for the company, and that's what's needed in the field when the agents are meeting with clients. Unfortunately, what happens for most companies is that most sales meetings are boring. The agents are reluctant to participate or even attend. And that's because many sales meetings are nothing more than a rehash of old company business and some old announcements. Frequently the same old listings are pitched to them by their co-agents. Management engages in the same old pep talk that the agents have heard so often they can mimic it in their sleep. Because not much is going on in the meetings, the door is now open for criticizing, complaining, and blaming some external circumstances for the agent's failure to produce. Now the net effect is that there are frequently no-shows, the agents come in late or they skip out early, and the general feeling is that this is just a mandatory waste of time. So the question is, how do we turn this around? Well, the first step is to repurpose and rename the sales meetings. So I suggest you rename them New Business Development Meetings or simply Business Development Meetings, and then use the time to focus on improving business. So what that really means is that no old business is discussed, no old listings are pitched, no old pep talks are regurgitated, criticizing, complaining, and blaming are banned. Now at the end of the session, I'm going to give you a structure for conducting your business development meetings. To put the focus on business development, you need to understand the concept of SWOTs, which stands for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. We do this in the context of competitor assessments as well as some self-assessment for both the company and the individual agents. And of course, it has to be done from a position of strength and leadership. So we're going to start by discussing how to do competitor assessments. A portion of each business development meeting should be dedicated to assessing one of your competitors with a focus on identifying vulnerabilities. Beginning with the top companies in your market service area, prepare a report on their market share of listings and other accounts, and then assess whether they've been recently gaining or losing market share. Now during the meeting, you get the agents involved by using their on-the-street market intelligence in doing these assessments. For example, with the competitors' lease listings, are the properties gaining or losing tenants? What deals have these competitors been working on that may have fallen out? Are there some listings that are overpriced or that are being offered at terms that are unrealistic? What listings have they held for a long time without any action? What listings are just tired or expired? This is going to help your agents identify new potential business opportunities, particularly where they already have some relationship or connection. Even weak connections can be very effective. In conducting vulnerability assessments, there are 4 key questions. First, we have to look at their strengths. What are they good at doing? Then we have to ask, do we need to get better in this area? Then we look at their weaknesses. What do they consistently fail to achieve? Are we in a better position to serve their clients' needs? If we are, then we need to convey that message much more effectively to the target prospects. Next, you have to ask, what is the opportunity for us in gaining this piece of market share? Because the idea here is not just to gather some more low-hanging fruit. It's so that the company and the agents move to a better class of listings and higher lifetime value accounts. And of course, we have to be honest about what threats the competitors may pose to us. And having identified any potential threats, the next question is, how can we effectively counter these threats? Now this leads us to the subject of self-assessment. And of course, this is not about the job that the company is doing for the agents, but the job that the agents are doing for the clients. And it's not an opportunity for criticizing, complaining, or blaming the company for external circumstances for a lack of success. Nobody gets better without stepping on the scale. So the first question is, are the agents using their time effectively? I mean, do they understand the concept of golden hours? Golden hours are the normal business hours available to work on transactions. The truth is, there's only about 1,850 golden hours per year, so they have to be highly valued. The next area is new business initiation. The concept here must be that nobody gets to Friday without having initiated new business, and there's no exceptions. This is the only way for anyone to become a consistent, top-producing agent. There's just no other way. Management's role is to ensure that the agents are not on a roller coaster cycle of production. It is the leadership's job to end that chicken today, feathers tomorrow, feast or famine cycle that far too many commercial agents are on. Another vital area of self-assessment is market service area domination and brand building. So the question here is, does each and every agent have an area of responsibility for which they're building a brand and achieving top-of-mind brand domination identity? Well, if not, they're probably losing market share to competitors, or they're just not in the game at all. Another question is the quality of the agent's listings increasing, decreasing, or staying about the same? A significant part of this question is whether or not the listings are moving. It's not enough just to simply have the same old properties listed. Listings have to have transactional activity, or else the agents need to be working towards proper pricing, better terms, or resolving any condition issues that's going to cause that property to lease or sell. You know, most agents need to have a better grade of listings in their sites. Now, another great question is, are the agents collectively increasing the company's market share? Are the agents converting leads into clients? Everyone needs to be concerned with the number of times that an agent makes contact with new prospects and either succeeds or fails at converting them into clients. By the way, a client is someone with whom the agent has loyalty by written agreement. Now, it's typically an exclusive written agreement. The reason this assessment is so important is because each time an agent fails to convert a prospect into a client, the brand is damaged. Another important area to work on is improving the agent's sales processes. The company should also know how well their agents are cooperating with co-brokers. Are they doing a great job of calling them back? Are they providing them with accurate and complete information on their listings and making themselves available to show property at every opportunity? And the final area of self-assessment is, are we all getting better? This is the area, again, of agent development and skills development. A portion of your business development meeting should be focused on everyone getting better, because this is how you create a winning atmosphere in your firm and create a winning team. Now, before we get into how to structure the meetings, I'm going to give you a few tips for conducting meetings much more effectively. And of course, the first is always to begin with the end in mind, and that brings the question, what do I want the agents to get from the meeting? Well, if the answer is not much, there's not much point in conducting the meeting. Another important tip is you begin right on time. One common mistake is delaying the start of a meeting while waiting for a few more people to show up. Well, I strongly recommend that you be on time and you start and you wrap up on time. By starting on time, you set the expectation that everybody's going to be on time, and that you have more respect and consideration for the people who are on time than those who are late. By ending on time, you set the expectation that everybody's going to stay until the end time, and there's no skipping out early. Now, one last tip is to avoid using meetings for disseminating information that can be better distributed in other ways. Company announcements that have been previously made don't need to be made with monotonous regularity at your business development meetings. And in fact, meetings in general should not be used for the dissemination of information that can otherwise be more effectively distributed, because nothing makes a meeting more boring. Business development meetings need to be concise, they need to be well structured, and they need to be meaningful. So, I'm going to give you a great structure that I know that's going to work for you. First, I need to introduce an important concept known as variable rewards. Higher intelligence animals and humans respond to the concept of variable rewards, which is why, for example, slot machines are so popular. It's also why higher intelligence animals are rewarded for performances differently each and every time they perform. For example, marine mammals are often rewarded with a different number of fish or no fish at all each time they perform a routine in order to keep them operating at peak performance. Now, the reason I introduce this concept to you is because the first few minutes of the meeting should be reserved for random recognition and rewards. And this is an area in which you can be very creative and have fun. You know, the rewards don't have to be significant because it's the recognition of having done something well that matters most. So, why not just buy some gift cards from Starbucks or other gift cards ranging from maybe $5 or $10 up to about $50, and then develop the habit of noticing when people are doing things well. You know, catching people doing things right is the very best motivation technique known to man. Then, at the very beginning of the business development meeting, start by recognizing and rewarding positive behaviors. This could include recent successes or just recognizing a great attitude, an increase in agent cooperation, or any area of self-development or self-improvement. I guarantee you that by doing this at the beginning of every meeting, which of course begins on time, within a few sessions you'll have everyone there on time and ready to go. Then use the next 5 or 10 minutes for the agents to present any new listings they've obtained. Now personally, I'd keep this to listings only, and I wouldn't open it up to those boring have and wants sessions. Agents who have tenant rep or buyer rep assignments can get that inventory information outside of your business development meetings. One way to handle this effectively is to just put agents with new listings right on the meeting agenda. Tell them in advance that they're to prepare a 1 or 2 minute presentation on their new listings with a focus on why someone would want to buy it or lease it. Now, once you've completed this, you should only be about 10 or 15 minutes into the meeting. So you move directly onto your competitor assessments and spend about 20 minutes analyzing one competitor's market share and their market position, as we discussed previously. Use the next 15 minutes for agent education and improvement. There are 2 parts to this. One week you introduce new education and improvement strategies. The following week, you review what the agents have done with the prior week's education and improvement strategies with a focus on what the results were. Now, this does 2 things. One, it demonstrates to the agents that the improvement in education is working. And secondly, it sets the expectation that they are required to take action on the education and strategies they're given and then report back on it. Now, dedicate the last 5 minutes of the meeting to 1 or 2 success stories by 1 or 2 of the agents. Essentially, this is nothing more than conveying some best practices, but it's much more effective when it comes directly from the agents in form of success stories from the field. Success is nothing more than doing more of what works and less of what doesn't work, and your agents need to know what's working for their peers. So at this point, your meeting should have been an hour or less. So now it's time to wrap it up. Use these simple strategies and you will get increased participation, better enthusiasm, more teamwork, and results that go directly to the bottom line. The best agent retention strategy is happy and productive agents, and focusing your meetings on new business development and agent improvement creates those happy, productive agents. You see, they feel like they're playing on a winning team, and so there's no better team to go play on. Creating an identity internally that everybody is getting better and aggressively pursuing business ensures greater agent success in the field. So, if you'd like a free curriculum for your agent improvement, please give me a call at 888-894-2039, that's 888-894-2039, or email me, bob@macomb.com. It's been my pleasure to work with you today, and I know that you can create great sales meetings that really strengthen your bottom line.